Which Spider-Man were you watching?
Far From Home.
Ooh, Twink Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. Aren't they all?
No, because Tobey Maguire is like the
He was kind of like a
I'm a
grown-ass man.
teenager. He's a 30-year-old man. He was playing a high school student. And then you have Andrew
Exactly.
Garfield, who's like the popular kid, but
Yeah.
like pretends like he isn't. And you're
Exactly.
just
He
like,
was
no,
like
that's
tall
still
and
not Peter
dashing.
Parker. Yeah. He
Mm-hmm.
like was too good at being smooth, so much so that you forgot that he was supposed to be this like nerd who just got bit by a spider. And then Tom Holland comes along. And it was the first time that they used like a age appropriate young Peter Parker. And it was like, it was funny. It was funny. Because that's the one thing that Spider-Man is among everything. Funny. He is like if you've ever read, he did a comic series. It was Spider-Man and Deadpool. And the reason it worked so well is because they were both incredibly hilarious, but one of them is realistic and the other one is just an insane psychopath. But they're both hilarious, so watching them play off each other, or no. I think it was, did Spider-Man and Deadpool do a comic? Or am I thinking of Hawkeye and Deadpool?
I don't know. Hawkeye and Deadpool seems like an odd combo.
No, I have my computer screen up. I don't know why I'm waiting. Hawkeye and Deadpool did it was a book, Hawkeye versus Deadpool, but then it was a series. Okay, by Jerry Duggan. Oh, it's got a 93% on Goodreads. All right, we'll check it out. I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe Spider-Man and
these are our
Deadpool.
Quarantine debates.
Yeah. Which Spider-Man was best? No, it's a good start.
That's always on the list to debate.
I don't
so much anymore, but
do you think they should stick with Tom Holland?
I think so, but since they've changed it so much, maybe we're bored and we're like, yeah, just show us what else you got, you know?
Well, they just announced, well, giant quote fingers. The current rumor is they figured out who the new Wolverine is when they bring the X-Men into the Marvel Universe. Because the current X-Men series that started with Bryan Singer forever ago, that kind of like ended with Dark Phoenix and Logan, technically. Logan ended Logan character, and then Dark Phoenix kind of finished the others. I mean, maybe we'll have another James McAvoy Professor X, but
I wasn't done with him. He was pretty cool.
He was the only cool part that I enjoyed. He was the part that I was just like, yes, this is like the Ryan Reynolds of casting. Young Xavier. Like Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. Perfect. Duh. Young James McAvoy is young Xavier. Perfect.
Kind of like Dark Phoenix. Couldn't get myself to go.
It was good. It was good. It was a comic book movie. You know how some of those movies are made for everybody? Like whether you know it or not and whether you've read it or not. It was one that like you need to know the characters well enough. Not like you don't need to read the comics, but you need to have watched probably all of the other ones to get why some issues were an issue. Like at one point she goes to see Magneto and like the tension was huge. And I remember, I think I must have been watching it with my mom or somebody. And they're just like, who's that? And I was like, see, that's it. That's you. If you don't know who Magneto is, this movie isn't for you.
Oh no.
Or like if you don't know why it's weird that she's going to the other side. Anyways, so Dark Phoenix was good. Dark Phoenix was good, but I'm glad that they're kind of bringing X-Men and Fantastic Four into the current Marvel universe. And who has currently been leading the rumor mill for the next Wolverine now that Hugh Jackman is done? Guess. I'm very curious. Give me 2 guesses if you could pick anybody to be Wolverine, knowing that Hugh Jackman's done with the character.
Oh.
And it's not, you're not going to get it right. I mean this in the nicest way, but you're thinking too hard about it and you're just not going to get it.
Because you know who I want it to be though?
Who?
Okay. I want it to be Zac Efron. Because he's
I get it. Short,
shredded,
ripped. Yeah.
And enormously talented, but has never got to use it in that kind of way. And I mean, he's typecast now, so that he wouldn't get a chance, I don't think. But if given the chance, I think he could pull it off, and I would really want to see it. He could do anything, I think, even though he just does dumb hunk.
Yeah, I think that he is a prime candidate for a "Remember How Good of an Actor I Am" movie. Like
Oh
they've
yeah.
all done it.
Oh yeah.
They've all done it. I think my favorite was Daniel Radcliffe after the Harry Potter. Of course, he's Harry Potter for forever. Did you see
Yeah.
Swiss Army Man?
Yeah.
It was incredible, and
This is
it
very
made me
cool.
look at him in a totally different light. And I was like, oh, Harry Potter was cool, but he's an actor. And then now, like Miracle Workers, the show that he does with Steve Buscemi,
Mm.
is so good. And if you haven't watched it, it's incredible. But anyways, okay, so Zac Efron is the first guess. You're wrong. That's not who's leading the rumor mill. And again, I'm not saying this because they're the guaranteed person. This is just who is currently having the most press, and in my opinion, is someone who deserves it.
Okay. I
All right,
can't for some
give me
reason I'm
one more.
not thinking the right age group is like escaping me, you know what I mean?
I get it. Zac Efron would have to be. Well, the issue with that using him is you'd have to have like a young Logan story, and young Logan
Yeah.
is like Revolutionary War era. Like that's when he was born.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I mean,
Right.
it could work. Just like a
Okay,
really
so who?
thirsty milkmaid as he's like undressing or something. Yeah, it could work. Oh, look, I just found your next role. Right.
Okay.
You have one more guess before I tell you
I
who. That was a good one though. I hadn't thought about that, but you made me think about it, and now I'm kind of on board. Kind of like Robert Pattinson as Batman. First thought,
mm-hmm.
that doesn't make sense. He was, Twilight. Why is Twilight Batman? And then you think of everything he's done in between, and you're like, oh, okay, no, that makes
It
sense.
would be like Taylor Lautner being the next Wolverine, you know? It'd be that
Yeah.
it's that
Oh, he
weird.
was a wolf. No, it's not that weird. It's just like as soon as I say it, you're gonna get confused. But some facts before, he's hairier than Hugh Jackman, but in like the sexy kind of way. He is like 5 inches shorter than Hugh Jackman. And don't forget that
That's
Wolverine
fine.
is
Wolverine is
like a
short.
4 foot tall character. He's a feral
Exactly.
beast. I don't know if he's 4 foot,
Yeah.
but he's like he just barely stands on his two legs. You know what I mean? In some
Yeah.
iterations of it. But
Carl Urban
especially,
would have been a sweet Wolverine, but he's not like
oh
jacked, but
man,
he is
no,
like vicious looking.
what? No, watch The Boys on Amazon. Carl
Oh,
Urban is just like,
okay.
mm. I honestly think that I
Mm-hmm.
don't think they would use his humor enough. Actually, you know what? I take that back. Wolverine isn't funny. He's kind of like gallows humor. He makes fun of the kills that he just did. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
anyways, we'll stop dragging this out. The person who's currently leading the rumor mill is Henry Cavill,
Oh yeah, I think I did
previously
see that.
Superman, The Witcher. He's a lot shorter than Hugh Jackman. He's buff as hell. He is
I
like the
thought
right
I
kind
thought
of
Henry Cavill
feral Harry.
was huge.
No, he's like 5'9". He's my height. Yeah.
What? But why does he look like he's 6'4"?
Why does Tom Cruise look like a normal human? He's like 5'2".
What? Wow, we learned things today.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I don't.
You
But
know
I
what? I'm
hate
not even gonna
like
Google it.
I
Feel free
hate
to
it.
at me if he's not actually 5'9". But that's the one thing. It's he's not like all of the shots are up at him. Watch it again. Watch The Man from Uncle and watch how they frame the two of them. They're not in the
Right.
same shot, or one of them's always sitting.
I'd rather see Tom Hardy and like a million times than Henry Cavill
Yeah, but
as
like,
Wolverine. But
okay,
I don't want to
all
see
right.
Henry
We're
Cavill as
getting
Wolverine
really
just because he's
specific.
too many people.
Yeah,
There's already Superman
I
and
get
stuff,
that.
and it's just like when you're Superman, like
I
you're gonna go
mean,
play
Ryan
like
Reynolds was Green Lantern and Deadpool.
no Green Lantern tanked. That's different.
So did Superman versus Batman.
Well,
So did
yeah, but
all of
there was
Henry
so
Cavill's
many
Superman.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I
those were
know.
bad, but everyone still saw them.
Yeah.
Whereas Green Lantern, everyone immediately forgot about it.
I love it. I love it. It's the only comic book movie that DC has made. And by that, I mean,
Mm,
like, the shots look like frames of a comic book. That's one thing
mhm,
that Marvel does well.
mm.
You can pause the movie and, like,
Oh
almost hold
yeah.
up a comic to it and be like, oh, cool. They redid that shot. Where DC, and it's beautiful, but it's like it's huge, it's scale, and it's epic. Well, and it also comes back to DC characters are gods pretending they're humans, and Marvel characters are humans who have the power of gods, and that's
Hmm.
the fundamental difference between the two of them. And I get why they make movies differently, but I liked Green Lantern because I was like, oh, this is a DC comic book movie. And fucking light me up. DC has done it 100 times better. I think Captain Marvel. No. Yeah. No, Shazam. Who used to be Captain Marvel.
Oh,
Shazam.
Shazam was the shit.
Yes, that was a good comic book movie. That was a good one.
Freaking loved it.
I know. I'm glad Zachary Levi. I'm glad that Zachary Levi got buffed for that. He was like,
oh yeah,
oof.
He was so good.
Yeah.
He's so good.
I'm sorry. Okay, Iron Man 3 was the most dynamic of the Ernmans. The first one set the stage. It was. Yeah, the first one set the stage. The second one gave him stakes. The third one, fuck it. Tony Stark. And it just leaned all the way. Yeah.
Mostly it had the Mandarin, and I was just like, "Yup, this is my movie."
Did you? Okay, be totally honest with me, and then I guess we can start the show, even though we've been recording for 10 minutes. Be totally honest with me. Did you see the Mandarin twist coming? The first time you saw it?
No.
Me neither.
I don't think so. No,
not even. Didn't. The second time I watched it, knowing, I almost forgot. And I was just like, oh, fuck, that's right. That's right. And right? I don't want to, it's an old movie. We can ruin it. So he's not a real character. He's paid to be the fake face. And he did it so well that when the twist turned out that he's just an actor, you were just like.
It was positively delightful.
It was great.
Yeah. You're like, I don't know. I like this guy even better now. But there's never been a more stark contrast between, character playing their different personalities.
So I fully believe that we're going to see Robert Downey Jr. come back as one of his many holograms to hand over the mantle of Iron Man to probably Riri Williams, who plays Ironheart in the current comics, the young black woman. Mm-hmm. They also set it up for that young boy to be young Tony Stark, the one who he fixed, remember from the third movie? The little kid who was at his funeral in the last movie.
Yeah.
So
the little kid wasn't that okay.
Yeah, and he was in the last shot of the last Endgame movie. So I think that's their reminder that, hey, this is the next Tony Stark. This kid.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see. So this has been MCU Hour with Caitlin and Josh talking about all things Marvel. A little bit of DC. No, I'm kidding. We should go back to the main show, which is still yet unnamed. Although, shout out to Erica Goebel, because Cards and Corn with Caitlin and Josh sounds pretty nifty. If we stick with the doing these cards and how many clicks to corn.
And then we'll have to play cornhole.
So it would be Cards and Corn and Cornhole with Caitlin and Josh.
Yeah. Woo! Okay.
Stop.
How's your quarantine going?
Stop me, and whatever the punchline of the joke is my answer.
Okay.
The question was, how was my quarantine? And my answer is, the pen is only mightier than the sword if it's also a gun.
It's very cryptic.
No, that's not. That's a really dumb joke I wrote probably after watching Man with the Golden Gun. Because the plot of that movie is there's an assassin who never misses and it only takes him one shot, which, by the way, it only takes one bullet to kill everybody. I don't know why, the Golden Gun is special. It kills on the first try. But the Golden Gun is a lighter, cigarette case, and a pen all attached. And that's how he can travel around the world with it. So I must have watched that and wrote the stupid joke. The pen is only mightier than the sword if it's also a gun.
I like it.
The only way a pen is mightier than a sword is if it's also a gun. Okay. All right.
It's quippy. You can add it to something.
We'll put that in the middle. That's not all right. Well, to your original question, quarantine's going fine. No corn quest yet. I haven't had my ayahuasca shining.
Inspiration. Your epiphany.
Yeah. I haven't had the Native American god of self journeys appear himself to me. And wandering
well, you weren't raised by Native American shadow wolves.
I wasn't, but you were.
I was. I'm convinced.
All right.
I do have some corn questions for you.
All right, I'm ready. Oh,
unless you want to do topical stuff first.
No, let's do a corn question, Then we can jump into
Okay,
top
so I
five.
was
I have some
thinking
fun
about this
ones.
today.
Okay.
You're the person I wanted to ask this question to. If you had a choice, would you rather be alone in the quarantine or with an annoying roommate or family?
So you're asking if I'd like to stay in my current position or swap with you?
Not exactly, but yeah.
Burn! No, I'm kidding. I'm
Burn
totally
to the
kidding.
birds.
Burn to the birds. Oh no, I'm sorry. I love your parents. Can I be totally frank?
Yeah.
Depends on how much longer. Right now,
Right.
it's fine. I am currently in LA, up in Laurel Canyon, with myself, my thoughts, and my cat. So I talk to him a lot, and he just doesn't answer. I talk to Alexa a lot, so Amazon knows all of the things that I'm feeling. And yeah, no, it's lonely in the sense that like I can't just turn and be like, "Hey, human." Nope, all right. But it's nice because it's kind of like reminding me to be self-sufficient. Like twice last week, I was like, man, why do I feel I haven't eaten food today? And it's noon. That's why I feel weird. And it's just like, it was just my little, like, that was my
There's no one to
reminder.
tell you to eat.
Yeah, yes. And that was my reminder to set a meal schedule. I'm just like, I eat at 9, I eat at 1, and I eat at 6. And like, there it is. It's out. So it's programmed in my phone. It's nice to kind of like, in that super selfish way, it's nice to just be taking care of yourself, because in quarantine, when you just or sorry, in any type of like crisis, you always kind of want to make sure that you're listening to yourself instead of like putting your thoughts on the line to be there for someone else. I don't know, I'm not explaining this well, but for now, it's been nice to be kind of on my own and separated. Also, I was working remotely when I was living in Chicago for a company, so like my work hasn't changed much. It's just now everyone is working
Right.
remote.
Yeah.
But I very much am an extrovert who recharges his batteries by being around humans. So my neighbor uses my yard to throw the ball for his dog. And every time he's out with the dog, I walk out just so I can see a human in the
Yeah.
flesh and talk to them from a safe social distance and pet his
Yeah.
dog. And it's just like, cool, that was my human interaction. This is the reason I've gone from bugging you less to bugging you daily, is it's just like, hey, sweet, I'm still
No,
contributing
it's
to
good. This is
society.
good timing.
Yeah, well, it's like I always feel kind of like I'm still contributing to society. I'm creating hopefully something that will distract people for some time. I'm not going to call it art, because calling what you do art feels weird. Maybe haven't been an artist long enough, but that's a weird segue. Do you call it your art, or do you call it your work when you look at your films
I
and your performances?
No, I definitely think of it as work. And I think
What do
if I
you?
treat the process like work, I stay more on track and I'm more diligent and I feel more professional when I treat it like work. Like it's
So
my
then,
job, even if I'm not getting paid now.
yeah.
Freaking go to work every day,
What
get
do you
better.
consider art? Do you create art, or do you kind of feel that gets satisfied at work, so you want to go home and do math problems to use the other side of your brain?
No, I feel like in the marketing or in doing web stuff or
Yeah,
whatever, I feel
yeah.
like I use tons of the left side of my brain.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I really think of it as art, and I'm starting to do this now because I don't want to call myself an artist or anything like that.
Yeah, right.
But
Isn't it? It's weird.
in training, when I'm training to be a better artist, I'm like I remind myself that this is art, and I have to go way outside of the left brain and expand my comfort zone of what I'm willing to do, because that's the only place I think art, I'm using figure quotes, is easy to start to happen.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's when
Well,
I start to talk to myself like that.
the magic happens outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then it has a chance to be art, maybe. I don't know.
I literally, yeah, that is the sentiment inked on my body and brain. That if you're in your comfort zone and you're doing anything, that's the max of what you can do. So if you ever want to do something different, you have to push yourself
Yep.
and do something you've never done.
It's also my credo. Yep. Every day. Oh, okay. Next question. You ready?
I know. I feel like you have another one for me, so that's why I didn't want to jump into another segment. I'm ready. I like these corn questions.
Okay. You have to give up one entertainment item. Hey, oh, I should have made like a character for this. Corn.
No, oh my God.
I don't have any props or anything.
Maybe
What?
we have Corin cards and corn with Caitlin and Josh. Quarantine cards and corn.
Okay, quarantine cards. They're like tarot cards, but not or something. I like the hood. Sure.
All right. We don't have a title
Okay.
yet. Maybe that's just going to be this is our new show.
Okay. Corn.
Corn question 2.
Questions with Quentin. Okay. Okay, you have to give up one entertainment item. Is it movies, music, FaceTime, or games?
I'll be 100% honest, and I don't know where I've gone wrong lately, but I've gone a full day without turning on any music. I like starting at 9 and ended at 6 and realized like, why is it so quiet? And I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
I forgot music. Now, are you talking like if I turn on a movie, there's not going to be music in the background of the movie? Because then the movie's ruined.
No, I
You're
mean,
just talking like, I
I
don't
mean
have
actually
access to
using music
Spotify.
to entertain yourself.
Okay. I
Right.
think that's the one that in this current situation, I could, and I hate saying it, but live without. Because FaceTime is one of those, like, I need to still connect, or I'll just fade into existence in my own brain. Movies are, I mean, required. And then games, I feel like that's the new, like, mental workout.
Yeah, because it's entertainment, but it's active. It's not as passive as watching a movie.
Yeah. It really sucks, though, because, like, I love my Spotify. It's the only bill that I don't mind paying every month.
Oh, nice. Dude, today I was working out and listening to Spotify. And then when I got to a part where they played me not one, not two, but 3 commercials in a row, they were all like 30 seconds long. I was like, nope. And I just stopped the whole thing. I closed the app and I'm like, I'm just done. Totally done.
I'm done with
ya.
everything. You got to pay for it. It's so worth it. I haven't heard an app in 6 years. I haven't heard an ad
Yeah,
in
I'm
6
living the
years.
laid off life.
Yeah, no, fuck.
Yeah, I don't
Speaking
know.
of, just because it's topical, happening right now and probably recorded for later YouTubeage, the Laugh Aid. Because speaking
Yep.
of artists being laid off, they are currently taking donations to help out of work comics because outside of trying to, you know what I mean, not like Bob Saget doesn't need your cash, and I'm pretty sure that freaking, you know, Everyone Loves
Jim
Raymond
Gaffigan's all right.
yes, but we're talking about the people who are openers, people who like their job is to hop on a train, travel, go to a club, party, and go home. And those people are going to be hit the hardest because it's literally, I mean, you can put it on Instagram for exposure, but I haven't yet been able to eat exposure.
Right.
Yeah. So what? Text the word Laugh Aid to 707070. And the only reason I know that is because I've been listening for the past few hours. It was really good. They had Burt Kreischer and Whitney Cummings interviewing Adam Sandler, and both of them
That
have
sounds
never met.
awesome.
Both of them have never met Adam Sandler, so the whole thing was them gushing over how much they love him. And it was just
cool.
like, yeah, this is how a normal human would interview Adam Sandler. It's just like,
Adam Sandler used to get so much hate and no one liked him. And
then he did
I don't
movie?
know if it's just Uncut Gems or something, but everyone's like, he's got all this, like, I don't know, this clout now. And I'm like, dude, I've been loyal this whole time, my whole life. Who went and watched Jack and Jill when everyone else said it sucked? And I was like, the movie's awesome.
You.
Yes, me. And bought it. And I've watched it several times since. And I will watch it again. I'm the true Adam Sandler fan. Everyone else is just bandwagon.
Or do you like cross-dressing and you just haven't come to realize it yet?
No, The Waterboy is like one of my favorite movies also.
Okay. I will not, I'm not gonna, you totally win the Adam Sandler award for most loving. And to be honest, I think what happened was he went from hilarious to his own punchline to then needing to remind everyone how great of an actor he was. And now we have him today. You know what I mean? Because you're totally right.
Well, I even like Hotel Transylvania, the whole series.
Yeah, but you don't know that's Adam
He started
Sandler. I
making
don't
like
call
family
that,
movies.
but I don't call it like an Adam Sandler movie. Like I'm talking like the Happy Madison stuff.
Well, I don't care anything Adam Sandler. I'm gonna watch it because I'm a true fan.
Okay, all
And
right.
I always enjoy it. I think it's just a sense of humor I just like am into. But I think I like some of his stuff more even now more than like Billy Madison stuff. That stuff is like, epic
Well,
for
that's
its time,
become
but I don't think it aged well. I don't like that comedy
it
now at all.
and it just becomes like pop culture. So you're just like, I can't watch
Hmm.
the movie because I'm not watching it to watch it. I'm watching it for moments that everyone in the world has recited. So I get that. I get
Yeah.
that. Maybe that's why Jack and Jill's so good. It hasn't been tainted. All of the jokes are still funny every time you watch it.
It really is. And there's a lot of physical comedy and there's like sight gags and stuff,
Yeah,
which is my thing, which isn't done a lot. So
yeah.
I don't get to scratch that itch very often. So when someone makes that, I'm like, yes, and they do it well. I'm like, yes. And I think he understands a lot of different styles of comedy. He's a good comedian overall.
Yeah, oh, for sure. He's one of the few
Underrated.
that has had, I don't know if it's still there because probably just people, but it was like his Netflix special was 100% on Rotten Tomatoes for a hot minute.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, you have another corn question?
Hell yeah, I do. Okay. Okay. We have experienced some trending items here. The Corona babies, pandemic sex tapes, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be pandemic breakups.
Yeah.
My question is, okay, in the quarantine, say that you'll have great sex with the love of your life, but the time spent together will break you apart. Do you still go into quarantine with them?
Wild. Okay. All right. That's a very, I mean, there's jokes, and I haven't actually clicked on any articles to see if they're real, but there's jokes about, how there's couples in like China, and now we're seeing in Italy where it's like that forced
Mhm.
time equals divorce. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the rose-colored glasses would be like, yeah, oh hell yeah, get in here, let's quarantine this together. But I think maybe that's also a saving grace for some people is like the space to like have your own little freakouts. Plus, it, now you don't have to have because this is as silly as it sounds. It's literally the only way to keep yourself safe now. Is let's say your partner goes out and goes shopping and you don't
Hmm.
go with them. You should, if you would like to remain 100% sure, I mean, as 100% sure as you can be, stay within 6 feet of them for the next 12 days to make sure they didn't catch something when they ran to the store. So
Hmm.
it's one of those like, by taking out simple issues like that, I think it makes more sense to just suck it up and date Miss Michigan for the quarantine until you can go back to your partner. And I apologize for the population who isn't from the great state, but Miss Michigan is also referencing masturbation because
Ah, okay.
state looks like a mitten. Really, you're from there and you didn't get that. It looks like
Uh-uh.
dating Miss Michigan is when you just leave it to your right hand to.
Huh. I get it.
Okay. Isn't it annoying that there isn't a Mr. Michigan? Like they have the female
Yeah.
versions, and I get the male version is
Right.
like bodybuilding, but it's not because they don't have to do like they show off muscles. I want there to be a Miss America pageant for dudes. And I mean, maybe that'll be what breaks the Miss America pageant is if the male version is dudes of all styles and it's like dad bods and ripped dudes and skinny dudes and I don't know. But I feel like there's a
That'd be
whole
interesting.
because you'd have to go on looks and then you'd have to go based on talent. It's technically the same. You could have the same setup. I would want a swimsuit portion as well, of course.
Yeah.
I
I just
they
want
would
them all to
need
be firemen.
you know what? I have a corn question for you because I
Okay.
was thinking about this earlier. You were going goo goo over the firemen, and I was just like, yeah, but that's kind of I was thinking about this. That's kind of like an easy uniform to think is hot because it's connected to like saving your life and like ooh. big burly
Yeah, but
fireman.
I wasn't jumping on the fireman like calendar bandwagon or anything until I actually saw one in real life come like to save me in my
Yeah.
apartment, and that's when I viscerally felt the size and the everything that fireman is when he walked in the door. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, you and Miss
Yep.
Michigan just had that visceral reaction. So my question to you is, what is another uniform that turns you on? Fireman's uniform, out. Like something about a dude at the
Lifeguard?
subway. Oh, well, that's an easy one because that's less of a uniform
Yeah.
than anything else. But that's a good one because it's like you see the red
I would
pants.
say like pilots maybe, except for I know that so many of them are douchebags.
That
You
is
know
a
that coming from an aviation school. You're not
conversation for
douchebags, but
another
like
podcast.
hotheads, yeah.
No, there's a direct correlation between needing to be a constant savior, which is flying a passenger jet of humans from area to area safely, and
There are bus drivers
douchiness.
in the sky.
I knew you were going to say that. I set that one up, and I was just like, if she's not going to, I'm going to say it. No, hey, and to all those who are currently out of work, again, as a businessman by trade and a dumb joke writer by night, I fly all the time, and thank you for not killing me
Yeah.
yet. So
Right.
be as douchey as
Yeah.
you want, as long as I'm safe, and we're not
Exactly.
friends. All right, stop me.
Stop.
Just I'm gonna go all the way to the back each time. That's where my bad jokes are.
I'm getting a water. 2 seconds.
It's okay because I'm gonna have to work this one out. Huh. The thought here. Oh, for those listening at home, Caitlin Burt has just walked off screen, gone to the sink, and is now peeing in it ferociously.
You ever
She's
peed in the
back.
sink before?
Yes, but it's
When
easier
you're in
for
that 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, and your roommate's taking a bath in the bathtub, and you're like, "Come on, girl, what are you doing?" I mean, we know what she's doing, but you're like, "There's only one
such
other bathroom in this place."
this is such a specific incident. How recent did this happen?
I don't know. It's happened twice in the past couple of weeks.
You're like, the first time I get it. The second time it's a pattern, and I don't know why this keeps happening.
Second time was like, no, I really pulled this off. It's my new favorite thing.
you have like the perfect straddle. It's technically we were all meant to pee and poop outdoors. So if you can hop up onto the counter and just drop trow over the sink, it's more natural.
I remember
than
my
what
first
we're
poop in
doing.
the woods camping. It was so freeing. It is the most. I highly recommend it. If you
ever
get
poop in
maybe
the
not in
shower?
like a public park. No, but if we all run out of toilet paper, what are we gonna do?
I have a shower head on a. I almost said rope again. I don't know what's the.
There you go.
I have the shower head on the forgetting in the undercarriage. Okay. Anyways, the dumb joke is just the words "Fight Club Sandwich." So I don't know what Fight Club.
I call
sandwich.
it all.
Oh, that's funny. But it's like a club sandwich, but it fights. It's a normal sandwich. It just keeps punching you. Okay, that was dumb. All right, give me another corn question.
What is your least favorite animal in the animal kingdom?
Least favorite animal?
Yep.
In the animal kingdom is probably one that scares me and doesn't seem to serve a purpose. And I think that would be those giant fucking centipedes. That's like, there's a spider and it has 8 legs and my life is limited to what's happening on its little furry body. But there's something about a centipede that just has like hundreds of fucking legs. And it's up to no good.
Yeah.
Anything that needs that many pairs of shoes is wearing in my book. There's something about them too, where it's just like the way they move and you're like, that's a goddamn alien. Smash.
Oh yeah, we're like, I don't care how big a dude you are. Everyone goes when they see that thing.
Yeah, there's like, it's so funny because sometimes like random tiny insects will freak me out and then I'll get mad and have to squish it. Like every once in a while is when I'm walking into my apartment, there's like this little, sorry, not my apartment, the house now. There's like this little cobweb and I keep either walking through it. And one time I thought I was walking through, but it was just a moth that it came in front of me. And I was like, that moth has to fucking die. I cannot be scared by that moth. It's just
I don't
like,
want no Mothman prophecies in here.
Nope.
I feel you on that. I don't like moths either. I don't like them. I don't like them one bit.
All right. So I still think that lifeguard is too obvious an answer. What's another uniform? Like, I'm thinking EMT is high up there, but that's an easy one because again, they're saving your life.
Paramedic maybe?
That's what
or
I'm
like you ever seen
okay.
like a really sexy postal service guy?
Yeah. Oh, they're gonna have quads for days. They do so much walking.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes. If you're in the
and
legs.
they have a zen about them, like they work outside all day and go for a lot of walks.
Yeah.
I like that.
Their brain is just turned off. They're probably having all sorts of fun thoughts as they're just walking.
Exactly. Yeah. No, when your brain is turned off, that's the best. They're having like brilliant epiphanies while we're working on like inane work problems.
Yeah. Call us. Call us, Postal Service members, if you want to talk and get us out of our Excel spreadsheets, please. All right, I didn't like that last one. Fight Club sandwich just isn't getting me like I apparently thought it was. Give me one more.
Stop.
Some apps need to just fucking cool it with their notifications. Like, settle down, TikTok. I'm not going to forget to masturbate today.
Wow.
I flipped that card over and I read it without totally realizing. I was just like, "So on TikTok." I'm like, yeah. Oh boy.
Wow.
Your channel has an explicit rating, right? Because I'm keeping that one. That's fine. my all of my podcasts too. The first time I recorded, I was just like, no, yes. What am I fucking talking about? I was like, maybe I can make it fly under that radar.
No. Who even really cares?
I don't know. That one was pretty fucking bad though. That's right up there with the second most important thing about Texas. It's the first most important thing. Let's check their ID. Okay. All right.
Wow.
That was just an easy one. Give me one more good one. Oh, I threw all of the cards on the ground.
Oh no.
There are hundreds of them.
That's a sign.
What, 50 card pickup or to just burn this whole podcast?
No. Did you want to talk about WrestleMania tonight, or do you want to save it, or how was it even?
Oh my god, it's so weird. No, okay. So I didn't realize how much I needed the crowds. And it's the dumbest thing to think about because, of course, that's where you get all of your cues on who you're supposed to love and who you're supposed to hate. That's the point of the show. And that was the last thing I thought about. I remember thinking like, oh, shit, now I can't go to Jimmy Kimmel taping down the street.
Yeah.
But I totally forgot that wrestling 1,000% needs crowd participation.
So was it just empty? They didn't try to fake it?
Nope. Straight up empty. It was the exact same routines, just with zero response in the room.
Was it just like crickets? How weird was it?
It literally is crickets. I will be honest, I'm confused why they don't put music over it, or at least some sort of like jam to it, because
a laugh track, an applause track, or I don't know, something like just crowd noise.
See, now this is where I totally appreciate why they didn't do it. So, and I am by no means a long-time wrestling fan, or at least like one of like the knowledgeable ones. I have loved the pageantry since I saw it. I mean, I watched it back in the 90s and then I totally forgot about it. And then in the past 6 years, have gotten back into it because all of my friends at a previous job loved it. So I was just like, let me get back into this because it's everything that I like. It's like stage shows. It's all about like performing and presence. They're all insanely attractive. So it's just like wrestling has all the fun cues to be a good show. So I got somewhat back into it recently. I love all the current storylines. I think Otis needs to destroy Dolph Ziggler because Sonya Deville catfished her friend. Anyways, there's some like that. Where else are you gonna get a weird plot line like that that's happening in real time and is, happening live? Anywho, so coming back to WrestleMania, it's unfortunate that they had to shoot without a crowd, because you do kind of have to like watch it with other people and chat about it or talk to yourself about it. Because for a while I was just talking and kind of out loud. I was like, oh, get him. And I was like, this is weird. This is like, so there was
Did they maintain a safe
text.
social distance?
Yeah, all of the wrestlers are fighting from 6 feet. They're just like,
Yeah.
boo, and then they just like cut in his own hand hitting him. No,
Just dodging.
I assume it's because Vince McMahon's wife is in Trump's cabinet. I assume he has access to testing all of his employees and entertainers.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why some of them weren't there, but I don't want to speculate on who has corona. So it's weird, but it's also kind of like, I appreciate that they didn't put the applause track over it, because a big issue that WWE has been having is not listening to its audience. So recently they've gotten better about it. They made it a storyline, actually, that we're going to listen to you and what fights that you want to see will happen. So if they had then turned around and then started telling you who to root for with fake applause, it would have like totally redone and all of the goodwill that they've done with that campaign. So it makes sense. And then what I don't get, though, is I watched every single fight. It's all pre-recorded. This was all recorded weeks ago now, because they've known about this and they've prepped for it. But one thing that they did was there were a bunch of great fights that were in the Performance Center, no crowds. And then the final fight was between AJ Styles and The Undertaker. And I won't talk about the fight itself, because who knows when people will hear this. But it was like thematically done. They had a full crew, probably. It looked like it was like a 20-minute movie shoot. And it was like a film quality, like short, with all of the real wrestling, real and whatever quotes you want to put around it. So it was like, I am flabbergasted as why they didn't do that for every single one of these, and then go back to the actual, in-ring fighting when people can be by each other again. But it looked so good that it made all of the other performances that were good up until that point, like it made them pale in comparison. So WrestleMania is 2 days long this year. So all of today's fights were great. Tomorrow there's going to be more fights. We can talk about it later. I hope that they do more like theatrical fights, because it they did it very well.
How do you watch it?
On the WWE Network.
Okay.
I can give you my login if you need it. If you want to watch it afterwards, or what are you doing tomorrow? We can take it offline.
Same, every quarantine day is different.
Isn't that the dumbest question now? Hey, what you up to tomorrow? I don't know. Sitting at home, you asshole. You're doing it too.
Wearing these clothes for a while and then getting dressed at 6 p.m.
I haven't put underwear on in a week. I haven't needed it. I mean, I'm fully dressed in all of my calls and at work, but like, all right. So, any more questions for me before I get to the next one?
All my questions left were serious, so maybe we'll do serious questions the next time.
Or do you want to do like one serious question?
I'll do one. Okay, I'll do one
serious question. And then we can get maybe a little more silly with it, because I want to talk about lists. I want to talk about becoming a part of Canada, and then we'll see where we're at.
On the next one or in this one?
Up to you.
We're coming up on a half hour, so probably going to do it in the next one.
I'll talk about Canada then. We'll do lists next time, because there's some good stuff there, and you did those too. All right. Serious Quarren question.
Oh, okay. Serious question is, okay, so I'm thinking about like other long-term effects that are somewhat obvious, but no one seems to be talking about them. Like
dumb kids.
Like what? What?
Dumb kids. Think of all the parents who are homeschooling right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, that for sure. But more
That's the one that I
serious,
keep
what
thinking
about
about.
all the low income people or people without health care
Mm-hmm.
who are in the hospital for like 15 days?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's gonna be a lot of medical bills that a lot of people are not gonna be able to pay.
I'm glad that you asked that, and I think it's something that we should talk about. And I currently, and I say it like that because who the fuck knows what Trump is going to want to do tomorrow? It seems at this point.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Um, Currently, Corona and COVID, same thing. Related medical expenses will be forgiven. Currently, they have no idea how or why or how that's going to work, but I think that, don't quote me here, but it might be under part of the Wartime Act of like, are you familiar with that enough?
A little bit.
Where
My dad was
the
telling me about it.
government, yeah. So basically, the last time they used this was in World War II, when they needed bombers and they needed rubber and stuff like that. So they basically asked companies who have the ability to make what's needed. So I think this might fall under it, where it's like hey, people who bill, you have to forgive all this or it's going to bankrupt the entire nation.
Yeah.
So I think, but again, we're so far behind preparedness that I don't know. But you're absolutely right. It's something that we should talk about. I know, again, that's why Laugh Aid is happening. And if you want to support the arts that way, donate money to comedians who are literally penny to penny and now don't have a source of income. And do your best to keep local businesses afloat by not ordering Domino's, but by ordering from your mom and pop. I know that's a risky choice because in your brain you think Domino's, big business, they probably have my best at heart. No, Domino's hired the dumb kid out of high school who probably didn't wash his hands. And again, don't sue me, but it's one of those, like, it kind of use your brain when you're trying to, like, if you're gonna eat out somewhere where you trust that they're being healthy and your money is going to making sure that they're bettering their employees. Anyways, if Big Pizza comes to get me and I'm found just covered
If
in
you
marinara,
disappear tomorrow, I will know it was
Big Pizza.
Domino's.
It was Big Pizza, and they chopped me up and they used me as sausage.
I was gonna say pepperoni.
That'd be no, that's just a specific part of me that they sliced into very thin.
Oh, okay.
The rest of me is just horse meat and Weaver, just ground up. That's the sausage part. All right, so I saw a meme. I saw some memery. I saw some hilarity on the twatter today, and it was just, I think it was meant in jest, but I've thought about it a lot. No, I know it was meant in jest, and I'll send this to you so you can post it wherever you want. But it was, someone has introduced the thought of, and maybe I can send this to you so you can see this. I'll send this to you on the Slackaroonie. Fingers crossed it doesn't drop the internet. But it's introducing the United States of Canada.
Oh yeah, I love this thing.
So the USC is now going to be created by merging Canada with 19 states: Washington, Oregon, California, Hawaii, Montana, Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan, Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. So those 19 states have been invited to the US of C. But the benefits is our population will boom up to about 184 million. The GDP of the USC will be over $11 trillion, second only to China. GDP per capita will be double that of the previous country, which will be renamed to Jesus Land. We'll be energy self-sufficient in a few years. Tech, finance, and media will dominate the rest of the world, and we'll be unbeatable at hockey and curling.
I just like that the rest of them are called Jesus Land.
Jesus Land, yes. And that'd be Alaska and the remaining states.
Yep, mostly Texas.
Indiana and Ohio didn't even get a pass.
No,
that's Jesus Land. We have to. That means Caitlin. That means
I am
you're the new southern
dangerously close
border.
to Jesus land.
That means you're the new southern border of USC.
But also, I'm pretty much in Canada too.
Do you know what would be?
I'm a
I mean, yeah,
short swim away from Canada.
You're a rock's throw from Windsor, so you're technically mostly Canadian. But you're on
Yeah.
the border of the new Jesus land. So I feel like you would just need a wall, like maybe even like hip height. And what it is at 6 foot intervals, just a flamboyantly gay man. And then the whole wall is pride flag. And rotate. And if someone gets close, we'll just gay quip them to death. And we're good. That'll be our new. See, I mean, and if they walk up, they want to have a conversation, and they want to come to USC. Great. The University of Southern California is welcome. The United States of Canada welcomes Jesus-land converts. Bring your guns because we forgot all of them. So,
right.
Jesus-land converts who want to come to USC, bring your guns.
Yeah.
We might need to snag one of the southern states that has one of the armories. Hey, Virginia, what are you doing? You want to be our weird new island?
Virginia, we choose you.
We choose you.
That's a good one.
Isn't that where Fort Knox is?
I don't know. I think I know my U.S. history right now. It is 12:30 a.m.
It is not. It is 9:20 in the a.m. It's 9:20 in the p.m. Oh, 3-hour difference. That's right. Okay. Well, to wrap up this show, we're going to end quickly because if we don't, Caitlin's computer won't be able to upload it to YouTube. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you would like to join us on a quest to create the United States of Canada, in jest for any weirdos out there, please follow us on Twitter.
At Caitlin Burt.
I even pointed at you, Caitlin.
I started to fall asleep already.
Okay. All right. Well, at Caitlin Burt and at Josh Weaver minus an E. You'll figure out which one. Hit us up. Let us know if you want to be on the next episode of Quarantine Questions, Cards, and Corn.
Yeah, feel free to leave your answers to Quarantine Questions. Yeah, and ask us, I don't know, what other quarantine questions you've come up with. Okay. Bang, bang. Or you want Quentin to ask.
All right, and again, it's the Quarantine Questions, Cards in Canada with Caitlin and Josh.
Corn. Yeah.
Wow, that was a really weak ending. Bye.